Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are here, Financial Fitness Friday. It's been a minute since I was actually on one of these. I'm sorry, it's just been life and been pretty hectic. All right, but what I want to talk about is really, really, really important because I've been seeing it in a lot of conversations come up with clients. And here's the reality, okay? This is obviously a stressful time for everybody. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Okay. There's a lot of noise, a lot of division, and a lot of scarcity type shit mindset. Okay. The reality is, no matter what happens in a week, you still have a business to run. No matter what happens in a week, you still have a job to do. No matter what happens in a week, you still have a family to raise. Okay. All of these things are still taking place. So keep focused on what matters. Like you do your civic duty, you vote for who you need to vote for. You need to check to make sure that you actually voted for that person, right? And then November 6th, you're still going back, the next day to work. Dave, does this register? Does this make sense? Because I see way too many entrepreneurs. I don't know, maybe in the credit space you're not seeing it or seeing it. That are trying to weigh in what happens next into their decisions.
I think it's it's always worked in football, but it doesn't work in business. Defense doesn't win championships in business. Offense does. And I don't think it's just credit, man. I think it's everybody. I think it's the fear of unknown. It's paralysis by analysis. And even with us, dude, like even starting last year around this time, we really started to churn some momentum in this kind of 2.0 that we're doing. And we're still pushing through. And we talk about it all the time. Listen, control what you can control. And I think that's the main thing. And people forget that you're still in control of everything that you can control. And we beat it to death. What are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting in your mind? Right? How are you building your body to withstand this stuff? It's all basic stuff, guys. But the biggest part is, listen, double down on offense and just control what you can control right now. Everything else is just noise. And you don't know what's going to happen, right? Like there's something new or something kind of goofy that, let's face it, that happens every day. So are you going to get caught up in that cycle and that it's almost like a whirlpool effect? You're going to get caught up in that, or are you going to handle business? Now stay aware because this stuff is important. And I find it kind of weird when people are like, I don't pay attention to that like at all.
Well, that's the worst answer. That just tells me you're fucking don't give a shit. And that to me is unacceptable. All right.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm not gonna go fuck yourself. Go vote, get everyone you know to vote, make sure that you're voting for the right person, and make sure that vote actually registers. Okay. As an American, that is the least we can do. We have to show up. And the reason we are in this position today, okay, is because we didn't give a fuck. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I was in my 20s, I really didn't give a fuck. Okay. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the importance of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't understand what my civic duty was. Okay. But the reality is, if we don't do those things, we don't have the environment to make money. We don't have the environment to raise our families. We don't have safety and security. So guess what? We all have to contribute and all have to step up for this one thing. But what we're trying to say here is don't let that one thing completely fucking dictate and take over. Okay. You still have a company to run, a family to raise. Okay. You still have to go to your job and to contribute, right? You are still part of your local community. And there's a lot that you can change and do and impact in that local community.
Yeah.
Right. And so what Dave's saying here, guys, is focus on what you can control. If you worry about all the extra shit, you're going to drive yourself crazy like every single other person. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. Okay. I don't know if I'm starting Saturday or Monday, and it doesn't really make a difference. But I am actually, for the first time, starting 75 hard going into the holidays.
Oh,
okay. Well, what? I've never done it. I've never done it, bro. I've done 75 hard probably 5 or 6 times. I have never done it at this time of year intentionally because I love, okay, the holidays. Okay, and I don't want to worry about it. But I'm going to tell you something because of all this shit. And if you guys think we're here and talking on a topic. Sometimes it's like the topic is for you guys, but part of this is also stuff that I see and I notice that I do. Okay. And that's why I'm going to be doing 75 hard, because it allows me to just focus on what I can control, super focus on that, and I get massive results. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah. And I wanted to touch on that a little more because I don't even know if you and I talked about it privately, but, I told internally everybody that, hey, man, every time I do it, I always look for ways to stretch yourself further. And that's another thing, guys. Stretch yourself.
Is that like what the raccoons do?
Maybe stretch themselves, right?
Is that what you're talking about when you graduated from gerbils, the raccoons?
Yeah, get stuck on that fence, right?
Yeah. What the fence? You get stuck up the fence. How do you get stuck up the fence? What do you mean it got stuck up the fence? It got stuck in the fence?
Yeah, stuck
the fence?
Dangling. You know what I mean? Dangling by 1 and 2.
Okay, Tails.
Yeah, right. But no, in all seriousness,
I actually can't.
What? Can't keep it straight?
No.
No. Hey, man, that was kind of like I did a presentation, a little completely off topic, but I did a presentation amongst peers the other day. And yeah, man, I kept it funny and got a couple laughs and a couple like, oh my God, what's this guy doing? Like, hey, a bunch of stiffs, man. We're never going to get out of this thing alive.
Oh, so speaking of that, my wife yelled at me for my costume and it turned out to be a massive hit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I threw on a contractor bag. Said proud garbage, walked around the neighborhood. She goes, what if somebody says something? I said, we'll be just fine. And I said, I don't think we have anything to worry about here.
Yeah.
And I said, just let's watch. Okay. So with inside of the first 3 houses, somebody starts laughing their ass off and said that's the best thing ever. And then that whole thing just continued for the entirety of the night until I had to take it off because it is very hot. Okay. And actually, funny story, I've bought sauna suits, okay, where you're spending like $100 or $200 on this fancy fucking suit. Never again. Okay. You could wear a contractor bag and be fine because I got to tell you, I was sweating my nuts off.
Yeah, that's how we used to cut weight, man, for wrestling, garbage bags and hoodies, and that's it. And then assault bike, man, that's how we used to suck weight, dude. Old school.
Yeah, it was miserable. I was taking kids trick or treating and trying not to pass out.
Oh, that sounds like here, dude. It was 80 degrees yesterday in PA. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Right? But
and by the way, I have the coolest fucking neighbors, dude.
That's awesome, man.
I really do. Like coolest neighbors.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
We're seeing that here, man. Like everybody's, whatever the media tells you to, it's not the reality in real life. Bro, no. I went to the courthouse here and I voted early, and the amount of people and the turnout and the time of day, like it was crazy, man. You just felt that energy. Like people are wanting to change. People are more engaged. People are tired of bullshit, and it was dude, it took me almost 45 minutes to an hour to get like in. And that's how I was like, damn, this is some real stuff, man. Like this is crazy, but
me, dude, I vote at my clubhouse.
Oh, nice.
No, I'm dead serious, dude. I vote at my clubhouse. I've never waited more than a person or two, and everybody in my community votes. Nice. Literally just go in. I could walk there, walk back. Yeah, it's incredible.
Oh, sick, man. Yeah, we got to step it up here. But no, to touch back on what you were saying about 75 hard, guys, that's another thing. Like I made a personal commitment. I'm on day 16, and to kind of push yourself to the limits. How do you make this thing crazier? So I was talking to Brad about this, and I said, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to dive right in for like 6 months straight. He goes, what do you mean? I was like, toughest time of the year. Started 16 days ago. It brings you up to, New Year's Eve, right? And then start day 1 again, January 1st. And then do phase 1. I think it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
A little earlier than that. So phase 1 on St. Patrick's Day, and then you're done right by tax day. and that's it. Well, why am I doing that? Because number one, every time I'm locked in, everything else flows. It just runs smoothly. We're clicking on all cylinders, and it has a trickle down effect. And then number two, the other thing is I'm already kind of, not that we quit on this year, but I'm already focused on 2025. And I don't care what happens. I do care. Like, let's make that clear, but I don't care like which side is in, because again, what we're talking about, focus on what we can control. And I want to get out the blocks, continuously fast and create that momentum streak. So that is important for me.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up. Appreciate you. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. And we'll catch you on Mindset Monday.
Be great, y'all.
Later.